We'll be discussing or rather practicing on articles today. That is one very important part that you need to keep in mind. A lot of people otherwise ask us why is article being included as parts of speech. Traditionally, you might have learned them as a separate entity from the parts of speech, the usual ones that you have, right? Starting from noun to say interjection. And um, articles, they have uh, very specific functional usages, right? So more than being lexical particles, right? They have more functional, they're more grammatical in nature. Now, what do we mean by that? If you look at the parts of speech, we see that there are lexical words, lexical categories, right? Which are basically nouns, adjectives, adverbs, right? They derive from something. But then you also have things like prepositions, conjunctions, right? Why are they different? Because these words, they don't have a meaning on their own, right? Like when I say John or Mary or chair or clip or pencil or whatever it is, right? Or beautiful or anything, uh, you can guess their meanings, right? They have an existence outside their functional zones. It can be pointed. It has a referential point. Whereas when I say a, and, at, in, they cannot really have a meaning on their own, but they acquire meanings only when you put them together in a sentence, right, with other elements. Um, so articles is also one such part in the grammar, and it is a little difficult for few people to understand articles because again, this is a feature that you find across a few Indo-European languages. In our languages, usually we do not use articles that much, or we have other clearer markers to indicate, say, countability and specificity. It is not so. Hence, because of this reason, probably articles become a little difficult area to grasp. However, you have certain rules. You might have already watched the lectures. Those are only the basic ones that you should know. I'll talk about the basic ones that you must know, and then additionally, what the lecture might have discussed, right, which you already know about definite article and indefinite. The first point that you need to keep in mind when it comes to articles is that we have two kinds of them. One's the definite and the other is the indefinite. Definite is article the other one is a and. A and precisely um to put them precisely, they are the same, right? Their functions are the same. The only difference between the use of a or an would be the difference in the sound that follows it, right? So a is used along with or it is used before a vowel sound, right? If the next word begins with a vowel sound, then it has to be taken up. A has to be taken up. If it is a consonant, an has to be taken up, and if it's a consonant, then you have to take up a, right? So an with a vowel sound and a with a consonant sound, right? Besides this, the use of both a and an are the same. Functionally, they are the same. They perform the same kind of functions, but the only difference in their usage would be the difference between the vowel and the consonant, right? Now, what do they do otherwise? What is the function otherwise? Um, Two things. A, they are usually used with singular nouns, right? Singular nouns. Now, the moment I say singular nouns, there's also another thing that comes along with it, that I'm also talking about countable nouns, right? So, singular and plural exists only when you can count the nouns, right? So, when I say it is used along with singular nouns, it also means that it can only be used along with countable nouns, right? So, uncountable nouns usually do not take any they definitely don't take the um, indefinite articles along with them. Occasionally, if you're talking about specific cases, then they can take the definite article the. But a and definitely does not go along with uncountable nouns, right? They only are used with countable nouns and singular countable nouns. Plurals don't need it, all right? So that is one part about it. So first, then you use it to indicate countability, and particularly within countability, you look at singularity, right? Um, the other part that you need to keep in mind about the use of articles is specific versus inspecific, right? So if you are talking about, say, a specific thing, then you will have to use the definite article there, right? And if you're talking about, or to make it more specific, let's say, if you're talking about any member of a group, yeah, if you're referring, you have a group and you're referring to any common member of a group, then you will use the indefinite article. However, if you're referring to a particular member of that group, then you're going to use the definite article, right? Uh, Sometimes what happens is introduced to something within a paragraph. So if it is being introduced for the first time, then you're going to use an indefinite article along with it because there is no mention of it before, right? So you're going to begin off by using the indefinite article, and later on, when the same entity appears in the paragraph later, you use the definite article now because now this is familiar to you, right? So these are some contexts of usage and use of the articles. And there's another category here wherein you call the zero article. Zero article is nothing but the omission of articles, right? When you use none of these, you don't use a, an, or the. Usually that happens when you're making generalizations, like you're making a general statement. Managers are busy individuals, right? You're not speaking about any particular manager or any specific manager. You're generally, this is a general statement you are making, right? Managers are busy individuals in an organization. So this is a generalization. Or uncountable nouns, like, right? Um, Water is very important for health, right? Or oil is expensive. So you don't say the oil is expensive or oil is expensive. You can use definitely a and an is not possible, but the oil can be used if you're referring to a specific kind of oil given the context. But otherwise, if it's a general statement, then you omit the article and simply say oil is expensive. Okay? Or water is not clean, right? Anything. If I say the water is not clean, then probably it means that the one that has already been specified, something it's the water that you and I know. Okay, so these are usually the usage and use of articles. We'll start looking at the exercise, but any immediate questions that you have? For more specific rules, you should refer to the slides. I'm sure there are a few things that are mentioned about usage of articles before the names of mountains, seas, lakes, ocean, cities, or usage of articles before um, a proper noun in a figurative sense, or a proper noun in when you want to refer to that particular noun as an insignificant entity, right? All these rules, specific ones, you will find them in the lectures. So if you haven't yet gone through it, see it. And when you're learning these things, make sure that you have a few sentences made by yourself, right? Not the one that you have in the lectures, but anything that is, pick an example or make a sentence from what is common in your surroundings, right? Rather than the one that you see in the lectures, right? So that you remember the rules better. Okay. You don't have to actually, if you practice them, if you're somebody who reads on a daily basis, then keeping a track of these rules is not important. But in any case, if you are somebody who who's been initiated into the details of these concepts for the first time, or this is the first time you have been looking at it seriously, then a best tip to learn this would be that you make your own examples, your own sentences, sorry, and let those examples and sentences have something from your surroundings or something that you say you do on a daily basis. Or you see or feel on a daily basis, something that is related to your life, so that the rules fit well with you rather than plainly looking at the examples that's given in the lecture slides, right? That's one thing. Okay, what is this? Um, Access to documents. Attached to the tends us to request access from owner. I do request access from owner response. Okay. I don't know. This has been raised before also. I'll check with the team and ask why the permission is universal. Let's see. That is a problem. All right. Okay. So we'll now dive straight into the exercises. These are fairly simple exercises. At this point, you're not expected to be solving any complicated trick questions. We do not have any for the exam for that matter. We never, that's never a strategy for us. But you are requested to go through the lectures very carefully and the practice assignments that you have. And these exercises, then additionally, this should be treated as an additional session, which would, for somebody who's already gone through these things and want to have some extra practice, can make use of this, right? Okay, so we'll be looking at the questions. So we have both standalone sentences, which means individual sentences, usually without context, and we also have a paragraph, um, so that you can see the difference between how they're used in standalone sentences and paragraphs. Not very different. The rules stay the same, but the only difference is the ones that I was referring to, right? So if in a paragraph, say when you're introducing something for the first time, then normally you use the indefinite article because the first time that's been introduced, you have no clue of what that is. But later on, when you refer to the same thing, you use definite article because now you know what it is, right? Okay, we'll look at it while we see the paragraph question. But right now, we'll begin with this. For the first one, I want dash apple from that basket. You can try answering this question.
An apple.
And
Just a minute.
Ma'am, should we speak or answer in chat box?
It is better if you can speak, but just give me a moment. I'm stuck with something. You can
Yes,
still see the
madam.
screen, right?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, should be fine. All right. Yeah, what was the
And,
answer? Sorry.
And
I want,
a,
yeah,
an
an
apple.
apple. And what's the rule that you use here?
vowel sound.
Vowel sound. And addition, in addition to that, what else have you used? What would you use to apply an here? Of course, the answer is right. It's an. And yes, apple begins with a vowel sound. So, of course, you use an. But besides that, I want an apple from that basket. Probably the basket has
No.
many apples, right?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
just want so yeah, so I just want one apple from that or an apple from that, and I'm not very specific about it. Any apple is okay. Any apple is fine. So I don't have to put down, I'm not being specific, I don't have to, right? So, which is why there is no specificity, and this is a singular countable noun, apple, which is why we use an, right? Okay. Next one. Dash church on the corner is progressive.
The church.
The
The church.
Okay, that's right. And why will you use the
Because we are
specific.
talking about a specific church.
correct, right? You're not talking about any church, you're talking about the church on the corner, right? So,
Yes,
which
ma'am.
is why you use the specific information. Miss Lynn speaks dash Chinese.
No article.
No article.
No article. So
No
this is one.
article.
This is one space when you do not use articles, which is the names of languages. Another one is names of nationalities, right? You do not use articles before any of these. You don't have to use a and the before. Uh, if you are using it as a reference to the name of language, the name of nationalities. But if you are specifically, say you're talking about a certain characteristic of a geographical, people who inhabit a geographical space, then you use, right? So say uh, uh, the Chinese are very good at handicrafts, right? So in that sense, you use it, but otherwise, you do not, right? I am getting too many notification. Just bear with me on that. Samriddhi, yes, you have a question?
Yes, ma'am. As you just said that we do not use the for nationalities.
Yeah,
Like we say just India and not the India or the
yeah,
China.
yeah.
But for the United States, we use the United
Uh,
States.
you're confusing between nationalities and countries. So India and China, they're names of countries. So we do not use it there. But I'm talking about nationalities, right? So India, it's Indian. Chinese, China, it is Chinese. Japan, it's Japanese, right? I'm talking about nationalities, not countries. Countries, yes, you don't use it normally, but when it is a group of states, if it's a country that has been formed with a group of states coming together, like the United States, the United Kingdom, or say the USSR, okay, in that case,
UA,
use.
Like
The
the
UAE, correct.
yes, there are a group of 17 emirates.
Yeah, there we use the, right. But I was referring to nationalities, not
Okay, okay.
nations. Yeah.
No, I just got that doubt related to this question only.
Okay, all right.
Thank you,
Okay,
ma'am.
no problem. The fourth one, I borrowed dash pencil from your pile of pencils and pens.
A
Oh,
pencil.
A pencil.
a
I borrowed
pencil.
a pencil, correct. I borrowed a pencil from your pile of pencils and pens. Okay. One of the students said, Dash, professor is late today.
ma'am, screen. The professor.
The professor is
The
late today.
professor.
Why
The
the
professor.
professor?
We are talking about specific professor.
Yeah,
Specific
so this is
professor.
a professor, of course, known to the students, right? So it is not any professor they're talking. So the professor is late today. Now, six, Ailey likes to play dash volleyball.
No article.
No, no article.
No
Article
article.
No
again.
article.
Correct. So this is another space where you don't use articles. The names of sports, right? You don't use articles before them because there's absolutely no requirement to do that, right? Seventh one, I bought dash umbrella to go out in the rain.
I
And
bought the
Uh,
And
umbrella.
An
an
umbrella.
umbrella. I bought an umbrella to go out in the rain. Okay? Fairly simple, no need of any explanations as such. Eighth, my daughter is learning to play dash violin at her school.
no article.
No
No
article.
article. No article.
My daughter is learning to play dash violin at her school. Okay, that's a special case. When you have names of the musical instruments, right? You normally, the usual convention is to use the definite article the. My daughter is learning to play the violin at her school. Okay,
Is it necessary
I,
to use?
sorry,
Is it necessary to use?
it is necessary to use.
Okay.
Yes, it is necessary to.
Ma'am, we are using the because we are learning specific instrument in music field.
Yes, you can look at it that way, but say if I this is by convention used, and see a lot of things may not have explanations on their own why it is used. But uh, like you said,
Okay.
names of sports, you don't use volleyball. So what is the problem in saying the volleyball? There may not be a problem, but this is how the usual sentences are constructed in English, right? So, in the case of names of musical instruments, if you replace this with anything else, whether it is, say, the piano or, say, the guitar or anything, you're going to always use the. Say, my daughter is learning to play the violin at a school. My daughter
Okay.
is learning to play the guitar or anything. I am learning to play the flute, right? So, uh, everything needs to be preceded with the article the, right? Like you use it for, say, the superlative forms of adjectives, right? The biggest, the tallest, right? Because it shows uniqueness. In that case, the explanation is more, there is a clarity there. But certain cases will have to be treated with exception. Like in the case of the names of countries also. When it comes as a group of country, like we mentioned, it takes the, right? So you have the United States, the United Kingdom, so on and so forth. But you also have countries like Philippines, so the Philippines, the Netherlands. Um,
Yes.
so yeah, yeah. They are all considered as groups. Just because there's S to the end of it, it is not true that they are a group. but just to honor that plurality that comes forth in the name of the uh, country, the is attached to it. All that is fine, but the case of musical instruments is a special case. Just keep that in mind. So you always use the article the whenever
Okay,
you're
ma'am.
referring to the
Ma'am,
name of something that you're learning, right? So
ma'am, do we use the with Maldives?
the Maldives, yes, because it's a group of islands, right? Is Maldives a group of island? I'm a little unsure about it.
Okay.
If it is a group of islands, then you will have to say the Maldives, right? So the Lakshadweep Islands, because it's considered a group of 1,000 islands. So it is correct. But if it is a singular island, just that one island, then you don't use the. But if it is a chain of islands, then yes. Hmm? That's the
Okay, ma'am.
difference.
Understood.
Okay.
Uh, okay. All right. Scroll the page a bit so that. Um, okay. Please give me dash cake that is on the counter, the ninth one.
The
The
cake.
The
cake.
cake.
The cake, because you already have specified it. We're referring to the specific cake that is on the counter. Now, next one. I live on Main Street when I first came to
The
town.
means.
The main
The
street.
I lived on street when I, okay. No, you don't use articles along with streets, roads, okay? Seas. So these things are not allowed. You don't have to use any article before it. You simply say, I lived on Main Street when I first came to town. Okay, there are still a lot of people joining in. I so I can admit them. Yeah. Okay. So no article required here. Okay.
Okay.
And streets you don't use. You simply say I lived on so and
Is
so
there
street. I
a
lived on the
specific
street.
position in the town?
No, it is not. What specific position? Street is a street. There can be several things on the way, right? So road, street, none of them will take any articles. They don't have to. So I lived on Main Street or whatever the name of the street is, right? When I first came to town. Not required. 11th one, Albany is the capital of Dash New York State.
No article.
No
No
article.
article.
No article.
no article.
Again, no article again, because we don't take the or any other article along with names of countries or states. Okay, that's why Albany is the capital of New York State. My husband's family speaks Dash Polish.
No article.
No
No
article.
article.
No article. Polish is the name of a language. Again, you don't use any article along with it. So my husband's family speaks Polish. Okay, no article required. 13th, dash apple a day keeps the doctor
An
Uh,
away.
apple.
An
And
apple.
an
An
apple.
apple.
Ha, and apple a day keeps the doctor away. So same logic that we used for the first sentence, right? That's all. Next one, the 14th one,
The
The
ink.
ink. The ink.
The ink
the
in my
ink.
pen is red.
the ink, right? The ink in my pen, specific. We're not talking about any ink. The ink in my pen is red, which is why you'll use a definite article, the. Now, 15th, our neighbors have dash cat and dash dog.
A
A
cat.
cat and a
They
dog.
have
A
a
cat. A
cat and
cat.
a dog.
Yes,
Just
ma'am.
referring to no specific dog or cat. Our neighbors have a cat and a dog. So, indefinite article forward singular count nouns cat and dog. Okay. Okay. The next one. Robert and Jessica went to party last night.
The
The
party.
party.
The party.
Ma'am,
Went to
The
the
screen is
party.
party.
black.
S- We are seeing black screen, ma'am.
Using black screen.
Yes, ma'am.
Check, check.
Yes, ma'am. Black screen.
Just a minute. I'll check and get back. Uh, just a minute. Hmm, okay. Visible now?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. All right. Uh, Yeah.
The
So, is it Robert and Jessica? Robert and Jessica went to party last night.
the
The
party
party.
The party.
Specific party.
Why would you use the party?
because it's talking of a specific party.
Which is that
Which is
party?
last night.
Party which was last
Was
night.
that party the only
Which was
party
held
last night?
last night.
It's generally used the with party.
No, there is no such rule like that generally used. Robert and Jessica went to, we don't have any information on, see, last night is the time they went. It does not talk anything specifically about the party, right? So Robert and Jessica went to a party last night. We don't have any context to use the. Unless there is something specifically mentioned about the party, you cannot use it, right? It is not like the ink in my pen. Okay? Party last night, there could be several party, right? How do we know that this was the only party? No. So you use Robert and Jessica went to a party last night. Some party they went. We do not know anything about it. Okay. So
Okay.
to a party last night. The 17th one, can you tell me how to get to Dash Cinema from here?
The cinema.
No,
The cinema.
the cinema. Okay, how to get
The
to the
cinema.
cinema from here. So this is because they are asking about a specific, they have to be specific, right? It's a specific location being talked about. So the cinema from here. Dash College is closed today.
The college.
The college.
The college is closed today.
The college is closed today. Correct. The college is closed today. So there is this particular one that they are referring to, the one that they know, right? Uh, 19th, Gregory is one of dash strangest people I know.
Strangest people.
The
The strangest, because
The
you have the
The
superlative
strangest.
adjective, right? You have a superlative
yes,
adjective, which is why the strangest. Superlative adjectives always have to carry the along with it because they are referring, they give you a unique quality to think. Rather say that there is only one of this kind. So if it is one of the kind, then it is specific and different. 20th, I recommend you try
The
uh,
tomato soup.
The tomato.
The
the tomato soup at this restaurant. Okay, now this one is specific. I'm asking you to try the tomato soup at this restaurant specifically. So, definite article the. Okay. Next, dash beer is not good for you.
the
The beer.
the
The
not.
beer is not good.
Beer is not, dash beer is not good for you. The beer is not good for you.
No article.
Maybe no
Because we are
article.
not
About,
we are
no
not
article.
talking about
This is
specific
a
No
general
article.
article.
statement. Yeah, we are not talking about specific more than that. This is a general statement. Somebody is saying beer is not good for you, right? There is no specificity you can build in there. If it had a name, yes, that was a different criteria, right? So no article, beer is not good for you. The seventh one, would you like to see dash
A film.
film?
the
Oh,
Would
A
you like
film.
to see
A
film?
film.
Not
A
specific.
film.
He's asking about some film, not a specific film, right? So would you like to see a film? Now, dash, oh, this we already discussed, right? An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Or, yeah, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Okay. 24th one, I can't believe I failed dash yesterday's test.
no
no
article.
article.
No article.
No.
Ha. I can't believe I failed dash yesterday's test. No article. Okay. Can't believe I failed yesterday's test. Okay. Uh, then the next one is, do you have dash dictionary that I can borrow?
Additionally,
A
Dictionary.
dictionary.
Do you have a dictionary that I can borrow? Okay, anything. They're not specific about what dictionary, anything. Any dictionary. Do you have a dictionary that I can borrow? Then the next one is, there were many dogs in the park. One dog was dash Dalmatian.
The
No
Dalmatian. The
the
no article.
no, no article.
no
Or one dog was
One dog was a Dalmatian, right? A Dalmatian. There were many dogs in the park. One dog was a Dalmatian. Okay, Dalmatian is the name of the species, right? It's not a specific thing. So we are referring to a class. So class usually takes a singular noun. There were many dogs in the park. One dog was a Dalmatian. Okay. Next one, pandas and dash tigers are both endangered animals.
No article.
No
No
article.
No
article.
article.
Okay, no article. Pandas and tigers are both endangered animals. You don't need any article here because this is they're plural, right? And we are also making general statements. So we don't have to use any articles before plural countable nouns unless they are specific, right? So in this case, nothing of that sort. So we omit the article. Pandas and tigers are both endangered animals. Magda is wearing dash blue dress with red shoes.
A blue dress.
A blue dress.
A
Wearing
blue dress.
a blue dress with red shoes. Okay, a blue dress with red
True.
shoes. Okay, now next one. Bornholm is dash island in the Baltic Sea.
An island.
Is
An island.
Is an island in
Cleaner
the
state.
Baltic Sea. Correct. An island in the Baltic Sea. 30th Christmas comes
A
once,
year.
in
A
once
year.
a year, right? Christmas
Year.
comes once a year.
Screen is turning black.
Oh, okay. Probably there are multiple things open, which is why. Okay, just a minute. Let's see. What is this one? Just oops. Okay. Should be visible now. Is it okay now?
Yes.
yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay. So now we're going to look at uh, the paragraph examples. Let's go through them. This one, be a little careful about how you're solving this one, right? So look at the first one. First, read through it and then understand what it is, and then we'll start using the articles. Okay. Okay. Have you read the first one? I have horse of my own. I call her pretty girl. She's intelligent animal, but she's not thoroughbred horse. I could never enter her in race, even if I wanted to, but I do not want to. She's companion for my own pleasure. I took her swimming day or two ago. Okay. So the first sentence, I have horse of my own.
His skin is not
The skin is gone black again.
Okay. Yeah. The first one, I have horse of my own.
I have a horse.
Oh, this is still not showing up. What's wrong? You can see it now, right?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
It's visible.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do one thing. I'll stay on this one to see if it is going off or not. Okay. Yeah, the first one. Sorry.
I have a horse of my own. I call her Pretty Girl. She is an intelligent animal.
I have a horse of my own. Yeah, that one is right. Okay, so I have a horse. Uh, we'll have to use it because we're referring to singular countable noun, right? So we need it. And um, because horse, again, you have a consonant sound, you're going to be using the article a, right? So I have a horse of my own. Now, in continuation, the same paragraph. I call her pretty girl. I call her pretty girl. Any articles required
No.
here?
No,
No, ma'am.
No, right?
No, ma'am.
Nothing required here. Now, she is intelligent animal.
she is an intelligent.
He is
An
an
intelligent animal.
She is an intelligent animal, right? That's correct.
yes, ma'am.
But she is not
A,
Not
thoroughbred.
a
a thoroughbred.
Yeah. Uh, what is it? Sorry. But she is not a thoroughbred
thoroughbred.
horse, right? Again, adjective. We're using it along with that. So a thoroughbred animal. Sorry, horse. I could never enter her in race, even if I
Or
wanted to.
Uh,
A race, right? Again, all of this
Correct.
speaking for the first time, so you will have to use the article. I uh, could not, I could never enter her in a race, even if I wanted to. But I do not want to. No, no articles anywhere required. She is companion for my own pleasure.
she is a companion.
She is an
She is a companion for my own pleasure. I took her swimming day or two ago.
A
A
day
day or two.
Uh, a day or two ago. I took her swimming a day or two ago. Okay, get this? All right.
man. One
I mean,
doubt. It would
yes.
be she is a companion or she is an companion.
A
Why will
companion.
it be a and what's the first sound in the word companion?
Okay,
No, sound. Sound
companion.
is
no.
what? Sound is
Um,
ka, right? The sound is ka. And what is ka? Consonant or vowel?
Constant.
Right. So you don't have to use and, right? It's definitely
Yes.
a. So she's a
Ma'am,
companion.
one more doubt over here.
Yeah.
Could we have something where we don't follow the this rule? Means where some following word is having vowel rather than consonant. Means
Sorry, come
some,
again. I didn't understand.
is there
Which
any
one?
exception to this rule?
No, no, nowhere.
No.
No,
Okay.
there is no exception to this rule.
Okay.
You might hear some people using and historical, but some, they are considered okay by certain sections, but definitely in writing and in the standard conventions,
Okay.
it's still a historical. You don't write and historical anyway. Okay, you might
Yeah.
find some documents using that since a few organizations do accept it, but to be on the safer side, and even the preferred one is always A because that is consistent with the A.
Okay, ma'am.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Thank you.
okay. The second one, horse knows when he is going to race. How does he? So read it, please read. Okay, I'll scroll it. Read through this one quickly. Okay. All right. So the first sentence: horse knows when he is going to race.
A horse.
A horse. A horse knows when he is going to race. Then how does he know? Of course, doesn't need any article. His breakfast was candy. Any article anywhere?
No.
No. Right? Don't require it anywhere. You don't use articles before. He is angry about that. Of course, no. He does not have saddle on his back.
A saddle.
He does not have a saddle on his back. He is being led, not ridden, to grandstand.
To the
Right. So why will you use the here?
because we are pointing to that particular one where it was
We
written.
Yeah. When you talk about the grandstand, you're talking about that particular grandstand, right? So there could be many grandstands, but then the horse cannot be going to all the place at a time at the given time. So what we are talking about at that point of time is particularly the grandstand that is in question, which is why you're going to use the grandstand, right? He is being led, not ridden to the grandstand. And he is led under grandstand into unusual special store. He is led under
The
grandstand.
grandstand.
So this will continue now. Wherever you find grandstand, now you'll have to use the because you've already made it specific, right? So he's led under the grandstand into um,
And
unusual special, uh, an unusual special store. The horse is, okay, the horse is nervous. Why do we use the horse here?
Because we are speaking about that particular horse.
Yeah, we've already mentioned which horse we are speaking about. So now it has become specific for being specific to us. So the horse is nervous. Sometimes he does not know what to do when starting gate flies open and track is before him.
the starting gate and
The starting gate and
the track.
the track. Both of them we use definite article the because see all of these are specific locative points. Okay, they're all specific locative points, so we'll have to use the. The starting gate flies open and the track is before him. All of them. This is not any random. We've already mentioned about the grandstand. This is all specific locations within this grandstand, right? So this has to be looked at definite article. Okay, so the horse is nervous. Sometimes he does not know what to do when the starting gate flies open and the track is before him. If he does not begin to run instantly, other horses are already ahead of him.
The
The
other
other
horses.
The other horses,
Yes.
if he does not begin to run, the other horses, no. Why?
And because they are collection of horses,
So other horses, right?
specific in
We
the
not
sense
ref.
specific in the
Uh,
sense that this horse is does not belong to those horses.
no, no. We don't draw that great of comparisons. So other horses is fine enough. The other horses is not how you mentioned it, right? Other horses, where did this go? Yeah, if he does not begin to run instantly, other horses are already ahead of. The other horses is not how you don't have to do that because you're not building in any definiteness there. It's just your reference is only to other horses besides the one that you're talking about. Okay, so that's all right. Other horses are already ahead of him. Uh, During race, when he sees another
during the race.
During the race.
during the race, because we mentioned race already, now it is specific. During the race, when he sees another horse just ahead of him, he will try to pass him. Anything that you require?
Nothing else.
Nothing else. Right? During the race, when he sees another horse just ahead of him, he will try to pass him. Okay. Next one. Sometimes jockey holds him back to save his energy for last
Sometimes
stretch.
the jockey.
The jockey again. Okay, all of them belonging to the same grandstand. So specifically, whose jockey? The horse's jockey. So this one, specifically this one. So sometimes the jockey holds him back to save his energy for
The
The
last.
the last stretch. Again, that's because you're referring to the last stretch of this particular horse. Okay, not all of them. So, yeah, so the jockey, the last stretch. Eventually, horse gets to run as fast as he can.
Eventually, the
The
horse.
The
horse.
horse. Okay, we're talking about this same horse now. So again, the horse gets to run as fast as he can. Exercise boy watching owner's favorite jockey riding horse. He has exercised day after day. Says nothing. Yeah,
The exercise
exercise boy. The exercise boy. Again, somebody
watching
who's
the
specifically
owners,
belonging to that place. So the owner's favorite jockey
the horse.
riding the horse, right? The horse again, because we are talking about the same horse now. The exercise boy watching the owner's favorite jockey riding the horse he has exercised day after day says nothing. Okay, nothing more there. So the exercise boy, the owner's favorite jockey, and the horse. Secretly, he's planning for
For the
day
day.
when he
Hardy.
will be
Day.
for day when
The
he
day.
will be jockey himself. The day, the day, not any day. That specific day when he will become the jockey, right?
A
He will be
jockey.
a jockey.
When
A jockey.
a jockey himself, correct. Secretly, he's planning for the day when he will be a jockey himself, and his horse will be first to cross finish line.
The line.
The first.
The first, yes, will be
The
the
finish.
first to cross the finish line.
The line.
The finish line, correct, right? So the day, a jockey, the first, the finish line. Get this? The usage of the in this whole paragraph that you see here is all with reference to specific entities, whether that's the horse or the grandstand or the day or specific other locations or the exercise boy or the owner, whatever it is, owner's favorite jockey, whatever it is, all of them have been used with this particular and specific reference to the entities. Hence, you see the usage of the, right? All right. And the second thing was when you were mentioning an already mentioned thing again, you used the language, right? So this was the two uses of the that we saw here. Now the third one here, let me scroll page for you. Just go through it. Okay. You're done reading? Okay. So we'll discuss then. Uh, most working people
Most
have
of the
fewer most working people have fewer hours to give to time consuming activities of clubs than they used to have, but most people in small town belong to club or two.
A
Where
club.
do we
The
most
time consuming activities.
most
most
working people have fewer hours to give to the time consuming activities? No, unnecessary. We don't need it there, right? To the time consuming activities of clubs? No. To
Belongs
of
time
to a club or to.
Yeah, you don't have to add anything there. You simply write, it is just to give time to, sorry, to give to time consuming activities of clubs. No article required there. Yeah. Where else?
Belongs to a club or to.
Belong to a club or two. Yes, there you need a. Belong to a club or two. Correct. Then anything else in that first sentence that you have?
No, ma'am, I don't think so.
No? Sure.
No, ma'am.
Read it again carefully.
most of the working
Have
people
a fever.
Off is
Most
not
of,
there.
there is
Have
no
a
off
fever
here.
hours.
Sorry?
Most working people have a fever hours.
Have
No.
a, no, 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 no. Most working people have fewer hours. A fewer is not how. There is no, okay. But most people in most working people have fewer hours to give to time consuming activities of clubs than they used to have. But most people in a small town, don't you see that? In a small town belong to a club.
About to.
Okay. In a small town, most working people don't have time, but people in a small town, they belong to a club or two. That's what it means. Okay, so a small town and a club or two. Next one of clubs
The
is
clubs.
likely to be social and
One
benevolent
of the club.
organization such as Rotary
The
or
clubs.
else. One of the clubs is likely to be
A social.
a social and benevolent organization such as
The rotatory or
no. This is the name of the club. So the Rotary or else. Okay. One of the clubs is likely to be a social and benevolent organization such as the Rotary or else.
Why?
You've heard about the Rotary Club, right?
Why?
You have read about.
Okay.
Yeah. Please, speak.
I was asking why do we use the article before rotary?
Because it's a specific club. It's the name of the club, right? The Rotary Club. This is the same as you name the seas or say the oceans and all that. The Rotary, the Lions Club, right? Or the Elks. Get this?
Okay.
Huh. Rotary clubs, they are very common in our social circles, right? You have seen them.
Yes.
They're found everywhere. Lions Club and Rotary both. So, yes, one of the clubs is likely to be a social and benevolent organization such as the Rotary or else, right? So Rotary or else are social and benevolent, they're social organizations, right? Then Lions and all is meant for what? Business class. So they have business people are likely to belong also to either Kiwani's club or Lions,
the Kiwani clubs or
the
like
Kiwani's club or
The
Lions,
business
right?
people.
When they're you, no, not the business people. Business people is a common reference. Why would you use the? You're not referring to anybody specifically, right? It's a common class name, so no need of articles. And it is in plural, so no article. So business people are likely to belong also to either the Kiwani's club or Lions, right? Uh, Such business people's organizations may meet as often as once a week in one of private dining rooms of town's leading hotel for lunch. Read it slowly and find out what it is.
The private dining rooms. The town.
of
Uh-huh.
of
Such
the town.
of the town, correct? Of the private dining rooms, both correct. Okay. So such business people's organizations may meet as often as once a week in one of the private dining rooms of the town's leading hotel for lunch. Okay.
For a lunch.
No, for a lunch, no. Lunch, is it countable?
No.
No.
No. So
But
lunch.
one specific.
If it is specific, it has to be the. And there is no reason for you to talk of anything specific here. It's just lunch. If I invite you for lunch, I'll say come for lunch. I won't say come for the lunch, right? Okay, so now look at the next one. You will have more explanation there if you're looking for what has to be used with it. They have good
A good
lunch here. They have a good lunch. Now, why is A here?
Why article here then?
That's what I'm asking you. Somebody already answered A. Why do you think there is A here? They have a good lunch. Why don't you say A or the anything along with just lunch? But why do you have a good lunch?
ma'am, they are calling one program, hearing good program.
Hmm.
Grams. That why is there is A.
That's why there is A.
And
Okay.
that applies to the previous
Uh,
sentence also.
any more specific examples? Not examples, explanation I meant. Think about it. Why did we not use it before? But here we have.
Because, ma'am, we are giving a review.
We are giving what? Sorry.
A review.
Ma'am, an example that we have a good day. So we can here we are using a
I
good
had a
day.
good day. My only question is, you're right. My only question is, what is the role of that A there? You're right. That usage is correct, and the comparison you drew is also correct, right? Because we do this, we can probably take it to that part as well. But why would you do that?
Represent single item. A represents a one item or something like that. Many.
Okay. All right. Look up this one. This is an interesting part of how you use articles along with adjectives. Okay. You're right. Your answers are all right here and there, but we need more specifications to what it means. Look this up and figure out why can you say a good lunch but not a lunch. Okay? The thing that is right in front of you is that with good lunch you have an adjective, right? So you good is your adjective and then lunch is your noun. But without that adjective, you were simply using lunch without any article. But the moment
But
article,
why
sorry, the
does
adjective,
that matter?
that is what I'm saying. Look it up. Okay. See why this is a difference. Why can you not use lunch with an article, but you have to use an article before there's an adjective, right? This is a good exercise for you. See, okay, why we say have a good lunch. I had a good lunch, but I had lunch. I don't say I had a lunch. I only say I had lunch, but I say I had a good lunch. Okay, see this. How is this different? Look up for this. If you don't find answers, please write to the forum. We'll answer it there. Or maybe the next class. But please remember to ask me. I may forget. I'll anyway make a note. But come to the next class and ask me if you don't find the answer. But make an effort to find the answer to this. Why it is a good lunch and not a lunch. Okay. So they have a good lunch here. Dash good program. What will you add here?
And here
Huh?
here a
Huh?
good.
Correct. The same thing, right? They have a good lunch here, a good program. So this one also takes a here. Again, adjective and noun combo with a, right? So a good lunch, a good program, and continue their fundraising program for
A worthy organization,
a worthy organization, such as
a local.
a local
Oh,
hospital, right? So you will see in all these chain that you say, good lunch, good program, worthy organization, local hospital, they're all combinations of adjective and noun together, right? Which means the noun is preceded by an adjective in all the cases. And in all the cases, you've used it, right? More than an article, we've definitely used it, right? So this is an important. So as a rule, you have to keep in mind that articles have to be used when you have this combination. But why should you use it, or why is it different from using the noun on its own? Is something that is like a small homework for you. Just find it out. If you do not get it, it's all right. But make an effort and ask me in the next class about what is the difference, or why do we use it here, and why not there. Okay. All right. There's one last exercise here. I just included it in the last minute. I thought this should help since it was in the paragraph. Thought this will give you a more understanding of the use of articles. Okay, let's do this. I am from Winchester, Hampshire. Winchester is dash city in dash United
A
Kingdom.
city in the
A city.
A city in the
United
United Kingdom.
Kingdom.
A city in the United Kingdom, correct. Now, next, I live in dash town called dash
a town.
Thornton, which is on
I
dash
live
River
in a
Road.
town.
A town called
Then no article,
Or the Toronto.
which is on the.
I live in, sorry, lost you. I live in
The
I
a
town.
live
town,
in a
a town called
No
Taunton, right?
article.
No article, no
Called
article,
the.
which is on,
The
which
river.
is on the river Tone. Okay, the
The
river
river.
Tone.
The river. Yeah.
Correct. I live in dash house in dash quiet street in dash countryside.
House,
This is
a house.
basically
I
giving
live
you
in
an
a
example
house.
of how you use articles. Okay. I live in
House.
a house in,
Lost your screen, man.
what happened?
Your
Yes,
yeah, it's
light
camera.
stuff now.
In the quiet street.
In a quiet street.
The
A quiet street. Okay. I live in a house in a quiet street in dash countryside.
In the countryside.
In the countryside.
In the
The
countryside.
screen has gone black again.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
It's just toggling, man.
Just a minute. In a, mm, now,
It's,
Yes.
it's
is it visible?
yes.
Visible,
Yes.
visible. Okay. Yeah, in the countryside, right? Quiet street, in a quiet street in the countryside. Huh? Okay. That street is called Hudson Street. That street is called Hudson Street.
The
The
street.
street.
The street.
Yes.
The street. Right. This is specifying. So the street is called Hudson Street, and dash house is more
The
than
house.
100. And the house. Okay, both of them have been already mentioned before. So we talked
Yes.
about the street. So that street is called Hudson Street, and the house is more than 100 years old. Okay. I am dash English lecturer at dash college.
I'm
And
in an English.
I
And
am
I am an.
I am an.
And
I am an. Right. I am an English lecturer at
In the college.
at
At
no,
the
no,
at the college.
at
a college.
a college. I am an English lecturer at a college near
The center.
the center of
The town.
the town.
the
The
town.
town.
The center of town. I like dash books, music, and
no
taking
article. I like book,
No.
music and
photographs.
photographs. No articles.
Sorry, the first one is I
Oh.
like
Not.
The books.
no article. I
No
like
article.
books, music, and
No article.
taking photographs. That's good.
No article.
Again, no article. Taking photographs. I usually have dash lunch at college.
Have a lunch at that college.
We just
Have
discussed this. We just discussed this. I usually have
No article.
lunch at college. No article.
No article.
College. I usually go home dash by dash car.
Buy a car.
But is using. But we should not use the before lunch. Is it wrong to use the lunch? I usually have the lunch.
No, we should use. On its own, we don't use. I told you, no article means even the doesn't come. That's all. I usually have lunch at college.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, dash home by dash
No
car.
article. Then by the
No.
car.
Buy.
No.
I
By
usually
car.
go home
By
buy
car,
a
no
car.
article.
A car.
No article required. I usually go home by car.
Okay.
Okay, that's all. By car. We have all kinds of food in dash England.
No article.
No article.
No article, name of the country, right? No article. I like dash Polish food very much.
No article.
No article, I like Polish food very much. Sometimes I go to dash Polish restaurant in Bath.
A Polish restaurant.
A Polish restaurant in
Screen
Bath,
is blank.
right? Will show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Article.
Okay. I like Polish food very much. Sometimes the restaurant is called Magda's.
The
The
restaurant.
restaurant.
The
The
restaurant.
restaurant. The restaurant. Okay. Dash polished food is
The
delicious.
polish.
No article.
No article.
No article, right? Why would you use it there? Uh, okay. In this case, no article. No. Okay. So I go to Polish restaurant in a Polish restaurant in Bath. The restaurant is called Martha's. Uh, Polish food is delicious. Okay. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
So make sure that when you're using them, if they are in direct reference to something, uh, like in this case, Polish food, the very much. In that case, you don't use articles, but in the second case, we did use because we are referring to one among the many Polish restaurants in Bath. Right? So there uh, the meaning of the sentence was different, not referring to Polish in general. You're speaking about one among the many restaurants that we had there, which is why you use Polish. Although on its own, in the standalone case, nationalities, names of nationalities or language and all would not take any um, articles along with it. Okay, so when you're practicing articles, try to do them more in paragraphs so that you understand how you how to use them better. Standalone sentences are fine; they can also give you good clues about how to do it. But paragraphs serve better because you also have the context of what is known and what is unknown, what is specific and what is unspecific. Right? It gives you better context to understand the use of articles. All right. Okay. So that's all for the. Any questions that you have? And about this access thing that you told me, I will ask them why you cannot. I think probably they would have restricted it so that not everybody gets the access since this is the qualifier batch. But anyway, I'll ask them to open it up to give access to either the group that you have or to individuals. I don't know how it works, but I'll definitely ask them. Okay.
Ma'am, graded assignment scores are still not visible. The week 3, it's still showing
What are you
0,
talking
ma'am.
about? Week 0.
Week
Uh,
3. Week 3, graded assignment is still showing 0.
so have you already answered? Has the date passed? The
Yes,
last
ma'am.
date? When
Yes,
was the
ma'am.
last date?
17th.
17th of